In 2022, I officially monetized my travel blog, Globe Gazers. But what does officially monetized really mean? How did I manage to do it? What took me so long? And ultimately, is travel blogging financially worthwhile in 2025? Let's talk about it. I first started a blog in 2012. It was really a creative outlet and a way for me to share my adventures and document them for myself while I spent a year living abroad in Madrid. It wasn't until 2016 that my current travel blog was born. And then not until 2022 did it become officially monetized. For years, my blog was a fun hobby. I'd write for it sporadically. I'd pitch for collaborations when I felt like it. I did make a little money from it here and there and got a few perks from it here and there. It was the thing that I just loved to do. When I came back from a trip, or even when I had a weekend free or an evening free, cozying up with my travel blog and writing and transporting myself back to previous trips, I was in my happy place. But of course, I'd be lying if I said that I never dreamed of making that hobby that I loved so much my full-time career. So yes, I did dream of becoming a full-time travel blogger, but did I ever really think it was going to happen? Not really. And it wasn't from lack of trying. See, I held a full-time job most of this time, and I had no qualms about spending at least part of the money that I was making into funding this hobby. And really what I mean is into funding my learning about this hobby. I was not shy about signing up for so many different blogging courses, Pinterest courses to support getting traffic to the blog, email newsletter courses. I've really tried it all, and I've tried some of the big name ones, but nothing was actually working. None of that was actually giving me meaningful strategy, and therefore I wasn't growing. And so I really thought, okay, this is like about luck. This is about if you somehow blow up and get attention. I didn't know that at the time that there is a strategic way to growing this blog or any website. And it wasn't until 2022, after being already burned by so many courses that I had spent thousands on, that I, with some trepidation, took a risk and purchased yet another course. And this one felt different. I still wasn't sure. My sister is the one who gave me the encouragement to go for it. I was unemployed at the time, so spending money was extra scary, but I'm so glad I did, because that one course changed everything. I will link the course. There's actually two courses I recommend, but I will link them both in the description. They have been the game changers. So this course focused more on, strictly really on SEO, search engine optimization. I finally understood how to strategically grow a blog, and I did. Because I had been laid off, aside from being there for my family, we had some family things going on, so aside from showing up there and taking care of them, I, for the first time in my life, was able to treat my hobby like my main job. Before, I used to often feel guilt when I worked on my blog, especially because 2019 through 2022, not only was I full-time employed, but I was getting my master's. I was in a grad school program. Anytime I sat down to work on my blog, there was a list running in my mind of the 10 million other things I could and should be doing, when all I really wanted to do was work on my blog. So for the first time, I was in this unique position, not by design. I didn't want to get laid off, but I was in this position and had this opportunity to focus and go all in on my blog. And I did, and it grew. My focus was on getting my traffic, my monthly traffic, to 50,000 sessions, because that is the metric you need to get into one of the top ad networks for bloggers called Mediavine. I got super focused. I put Mediavine on my vision board, and then I worked my butt off, and it took about a year for me to get approved. I had begun earning money in other ways before getting approved for Mediavine that I'll go into in a moment. But I really believed that once I got into Mediavine, I was going to experience life-changing success in terms of I was going to be making a full-time income from my blog, all thanks to Mediavine. I really believed it. It's not because I just invented it. It's because it was actually happening for real people. Many bloggers are still having a lot of success with Mediavine, but a lot has changed in the blogging landscape, and I will talk about that in a little bit. First, let's talk about how travel bloggers make money these days, and then whether it's financially worthwhile to become a travel blogger in 2025. One of the main ways travel bloggers like myself make money is through affiliate income. This means that when we recommend certain products or tours or accommodations, and and someone clicks through from our link and then makes a purchase, we earn a small commission directly from the brand. We really do our research. I'm speaking for myself and fellow bloggers I know, and we're not just slapping links on things we don't believe in. Either we have done the thing ourselves, we have thoroughly researched it, and then we are posting these links. So it takes a lot of research, a lot of work, and a lot of testing oftentimes. So it's really nice and rewarding to be able to earn even a small commission back on that work that we've put in. My favorite affiliate networks at the moment for travel bloggers are Travel Payouts and Stay22. I think that these are two that every travel blogger who is serious about making any kind of an income from their blog should definitely be signed up for. So I am putting my referral links to both of these in the description below. What I love about Travel Payouts is how streamlined it is, how easy the interface is to navigate, and you can sign up for a bunch of different affiliate programs with companies like Booking.com, Viator, Get Your Guide, Omeo, so many more, all in one place. It makes it super easy. So that's a go-to one that I use daily. And then Stay22 is what I like to use for hotel accommodations. I have tried both Stay22 and Travel Payouts for hotel affiliate programs, and Stay22 just outperforms at this point from the moment that I'm making this video. So I'm sticking with them for my hotel bookings. Some of their features just make it easier and therefore more likely for bookings to happen. There are a few other affiliate programs that I'm part of, but these two are the main ones that I also earn the most from and that I believe, like I said, every travel blogger should be a part of. The next way travel bloggers make money is through display ad networks. If you visit my website, you will see ads. They are put there by Mediavine, the ad network that I'm part of. Before I hit the threshold for Mediavine, though, I was with a different ad network called Monumetric. A lot of people also like She Media. I personally did not want to get locked into a one-year contract, which is what they do. I joined Monumetric to earn some income. I think you have to have 10,000 sessions to be able to join until I hit the 50,000 session mark to be able to join Mediavine. And when that happened, I wanted to be ready to switch over to Mediavine right away because the earning potential was higher. More recently, Mediavine has also launched Journey. So for people who are not yet at 50,000 sessions, you can still start monetizing with Mediavine through their Journey program, which I will put a link to in the description below as well. I've heard of a few people getting into the Journey program with as few as 3,000 monthly sessions. In order to have success with both affiliate and ads, I have found that it's helpful and pretty important to have a strong amount of traffic to your blog. The more people who visit your blog, the more likely you're going to have people making bookings through your links, and the more revenue you're going to earn from eyes on your ads. Unfortunately, Mediavine did not change my life for long. At one point, when I had the highest amount of traffic I've ever had to my blog, I was earning meaningful income solely through Mediavine. And by that, I mean, I would say between $1,000 to $3,000 a month. At least one month was even more than that. That's sort of what I was expecting when I was striving to get approved for Mediavine. But it was short-lived because in 2023, in September, Google launched what is known as the Helpful Content Update, or the HCU. But if you ask any blogger, and honestly a lot of people, regular people who go on Google to search things during that period of time, the Helpful Content Update seemed to be anything but. Bizarre results were coming up in the top 3 ranking positions on Google when you would search some basic things. Google completely overhauled who was ranking, and essentially what happened is a lot of bloggers, businesses got wiped out because the goal with blogging is that when someone goes into Google and types in a search query, you want to be one of the top 3 blog posts that shows up. That is what you're optimizing for. That is how you get the eyeballs. That is how you grow traffic to your blog. But now all of a sudden, Google has updated its algorithm, let's say. So a lot of people, even a lot of good blogs, have been wiped out in terms of traffic. There's been a lot of discussion. Google has also held blogger sessions, and they've also come out with some mixed messaging and also saying that even if your site is great, it may have been affected and don't necessarily expect recovery. It sucks. Some people have really lost a huge, if not their main income source in the process of all this. I also saw my numbers that were previously on the rise start to plummet. As that went down, my primary income sources of ads and affiliate income also started to go down. And then AI overviews began. So now when you type in a search query, oftentimes before you see any websites, you'll see an AI overview, if you've noticed this. And there's a lot of friction between Google and bloggers, I mean, for many reasons, but also because of the AI overviews, because it sort of feels like you're scraping our content, putting it up here at the very top, so no one really has to always click through to read this post that I put a lot of effort into, because you're taking the tidbits from my blog post and putting it right here up at the very top, thus reducing, again, the number of clicks and the amount of traffic that I get. All that to say, blogging is, like many other fields, very unpredictable and can be quite unreliable, and it requires a lot of pivoting. Now, had I found the course that I did earlier on, maybe I would have had a few more good years on Mediavine getting traffic from Google. Alas, this was not the case for me. I essentially got on Mediavine and then stuff hit the fan. This isn't the case for every single blogger out there, but I will say I have heard it affecting many, and many of us have yet to regain or come anywhere close to our peak numbers. I am very far, and to be honest, if I were to apply to Mediavine today, I probably wouldn't get approved because my numbers are totally not what they were. Especially in travel, bloggers have been affected. All bloggers in all industries, but especially in travel, from what I understand. But, there will always be something, and it's just another reminder to not have all your eggs in one basket. So I have been, like many fellow bloggers, looking at ways to diversify my income streams as well as my traffic sources. So let's talk about other ways that travel bloggers can make money. Eventually, you realize you have to take matters into your own hands. And this often means selling your own services and products. Some travel bloggers have started offering itinerary planning services. Some offer in-person photo shoots or tours. Some teach others through courses or coaching programs. For products, you may sell your beautiful photos, an ebook, which I've done, pre-written itineraries for popular destinations, tote bags, possibilities are endless, but you eventually go beyond simply sitting there behind your computer and blogging and writing about places you've been, and you may begin to shift into growing a brand or a business, and you have to think about, is that what you want? Sponsorships and collaborations are yet another way for travel bloggers to make money. This is when a brand pays you to write or publish a sponsored blog post about their service, product, or destination. However, it is rare that this is blog exclusive. Oftentimes, brands want to see that you also have a presence, and a meaningful one, on other social media platforms for greater reach and visibility. So this brings us to another income stream, which is social media. I know of some travel bloggers whose largest income source has not really been their blog, but it's been their social media accounts and getting brand deals for it. And this can be a hard pill to swallow. Social media is its own beast, and at the end of the day, it's another platform that we don't actually own. Growing on social media can also be tough and time-consuming, and feeling like you need to have a presence everywhere, honestly, from experience, gets to be quite overwhelming. So this year, my focus has been primarily here on growing my YouTube channel, kind of leaning in here more so than I would on Instagram or TikTok, where I have tried to focus before, and honestly, I am at a point where I'm like, everything cannot be a priority. If I want to move forward and be successful, I have to narrow in and choose, which is so hard for me to do because I want to do all of the things, but having specific areas to focus on so you can build piece by piece can be helpful. Hosting retreats or group trips can be yet another income stream avenue for travel bloggers. However, since as a blogger, you're not as visible, right? You're not with your face out there quite as much as if you were on social media. It may take a little bit longer for people to grow that likability and trust with you to then want to be able to take a trip with you. So if you're solely blogging, that's something to consider. And finally, creating UGC or freelance writing for brands. It's another great income source for travel bloggers. If you don't want to grow your own social channels, or if you want to write about topics that aren't necessarily always a fit for your own website, then it's great to look into earning money by creating videos or written content for brands that they will then post on their own social channels and publish on their own websites. One thing is for sure, there is nothing passive about travel blogging income. While ads and affiliate income sales do come closest to getting you there, it requires a lot of upfront work to get that to a point where it's earning you meaningful income, and then you do need to put in effort to sustain that, to continue to get traffic and drive traffic to your blog so that you can continue to earn from those sources. For almost all of the other income sources that I mentioned, it requires either product or service development, active pitching, and selling. It's all quite hands-on in my experience. So with all that on the table, is travel blogging worth it? Financially speaking, for most people, It is not. It will, first of all, take time to get to a point of earning consistent income from it. And then when you do start getting consistent income, it may not be enough. Case in point. On top of that, there are constant changes to the landscape requiring constant pivoting, learning, trying new things before knowing what will actually work. So while travel blogging is now one of my main focuses, I also have a completely separate business where I work as an independent consultant, facilitator, and coach. And that brings an income that makes a huge difference to my life. The reason that I still put so much energy and effort into my travel blog and the Globe Gazers brand is because, remember, this started for me as a hobby that I love. I did it without making a dime for years. It brings me joy, so I do keep at it, but it's the love of travel blogging that sustains me, not the income from it. If you're not attached to travel blogging specifically, I do believe blogs and other topics are more likely to be profitable. Finance or food or some other focus area. But if you love travel blogging, and maybe you're already doing it as a hobby, and maybe you don't need to immediately replace an income source, maybe you have some time to focus on it, and it's okay that you're not earning consistent or high income for a little while, then by all means, it is possible for you to put the time and energy and effort into it. You will make some money. Like I said before, I'm putting links to the 2 travel blogging courses I most recommend after spending thousands on other ones in the description below. They talk about SEO and blogging strategically, and they give you really specific, actionable to-dos after years of what I call surface level or vanity blogging courses. I endorse these 2 that are linked below above all. So what do you think? Is travel blogging worthwhile for you? What other questions do you have about it? Let me know in the comments. Bye!